Okay, so after doing my own meditative walk, I wasn't going to make a video in here, but decided to walk some of the swamp thing trails that I like walking. These are usually my happy smoke trails. I'm not even as deep now as I was yesterday, and there was tons of people yesterday. Still people out, not as many. You could see my poor woods from the spray and the over rain just killing my trees. Like I said, it looks like fucking Swamp Thing in here. But in the spring and summer, all of this, of course, is green with leaves and berries and tons of birds flying around. So I like it back in here. Like I said, these are kind of my happy smoke trails where I like to be alone. So we'll see if we can get a 5 or 10 minute video done here without bumping into people. I already started one and deleted it because there's a bunch of kids over there. They were on their happy smoke trails, I guess, because they were hiding from me. So we're extended till the end of April, huh? Yeah, you think that's not going to affect all these? You think all these businesses aren't going to go out? Small businesses aren't going to go under, and people are going to start starving, and you still think this is about a coronavirus flu that everyone has in their system from fighting the flus a million times over and over again in their lives, and antibodies and viruses remain in the body, which they could test anybody they want. They're going to have coronavirus, but we're still going to pretend that this is for our own good, right? Look at this real quick. It's just, these are the way trees, they're just falling over, man. That ain't normal. That's what happens when you spray the fucking sky and warm it up and rain all winter instead of letting the natural weather occur. And this is also what all the trees look like with all the friggin' moss in my house, too. It's a shame. You think people that do that give a shit about your flu? You think people that blow up countries and sanction the people of those countries and starve them give a shit about your flu? You think that people bringing in surveillance and tracking and forced vaccines and martial law give a shit about your flu? When are you going to wake up, man? If it doesn't happen now, it ain't going to happen. If people allow this to condition them into the new norm, alone together, stay connected with AI between you, because it's safe. It's done. Done. It's already almost pretty much done. My faith is that little in humanity, because they're just, at least from what I'm seeing, the changes going on here just day by day, they're accepting it. They'll wait in big long lines and get their scoop of rice from their master. They'll stay inside and huddle and not let their kids play together, and pretend that's protecting them, and not realizing, no, it's you living in fear because you allow all this propaganda to get in your head, and you don't check any real numbers, and you don't try to understand virology and the fact that, again, like I said, we all have this shit in our system. Coronavirus is inordinate amounts of strains of this flu-like virus, but they care about us all, so anybody that's out violating they need to be strung in the streets, right? Like the people yesterday that John X. Army was talking about that were making comments on his video about Rhode Island or the troopers stopping New Yorkers at the border. People were like, yeah, keep the rats in their city. Yeah, we don't want them over here. They're breaking the law. Again, the Barabbas mentality. John took that video down. I wouldn't have. I think that behavior needs to be exposed. People that talk like that need to look at themselves in the mirror. But they don't, or they wouldn't talk like that. Here, look at this. Yeah. Yeah. Just wonderful, right? But they care while they spray the sky and fuck with the weather and fungicide all these trees up. Oh, they care about you. They want you to be safe. Trump getting up there, admitting that the economy damage that this is going to cause is going to rise suicides and drug dependency and fighting and depression. He didn't say that the virus is going to do that. He said doing this to the economy, people losing their jobs and their homes. He knows what's coming because he is not a dummy. He only plays one on TV. You know, I mean, if you ever listen, ask him a question. You know, and again, he uses that whole fake, you know, mainstream media's fake thing in an occult way, in a psychological way, where people ask him valid questions, even though they're from some dumb fucking propaganda channel, and he don't like the question, he just cuts them off. Be nice. Dude, you don't need to be that way. And you know what? And he just won't let them talk and won't let them talk. And then the Trumpians go, yeah, tell that fake news, bitch. What the, yeah, you know? Little fucking babies. But when she finally did ask the question about the economy, his answer was, yeah, it couldn't happen. But, you know, went into explaining all the deaths and drug addiction, all that kind of stuff. But, because he can't talk on his own. But we hope not, and we'll discuss it, and we all hope not, and then we'll discuss it further, and then we'll hope not some more, and then we'll discuss it further again. So, we got it all. We got it all. People texting me, I turn it down. Got it all figured out. You know, the man never says anything when he's asked the questions. Yeah, well, we're going to discuss things, and yeah, and it's a great thing. And President XI, President 11, President Xi's a great man. We're going to talk about the deal with China. I'm going back months before all this. And yeah, cool, man. You know, yeah, a man of the people. You know, Christ, I thought I couldn't talk. You know, my problem is I have too many things I want to say, and they're always rattling around my head. But this is really more of a venting session. I don't have much more to add. If you're awake, you know what's going on. If you're asleep, you're the problem. Ran into a few Homeland Security guys with their tactical vests on. And they're, you know, I mean, they might as well had grenades hanging from their fucking vests with a rocket launcher on their back. They look so stupid. You know, walking in the convenience store. I mean, they were just there to get food. They weren't policing anything, but believe me, they will be. So, again, this is my secluded area that I love over here. If you keep going, it just, you end up in neighborhoods all around eventually because, you know, I'm in a semi-suburban, semi-rural area. And the fact that people don't realize what they're giving up, what they're going to be giving up. You know, people need each other, man. People need to be with each other. They need to interact with each other. They need to experience each other. They need to look at each other. They need to feel each other when they're talking. This screen they want to put between you is the controlled, non-emotional replacement that they want. I mean, just think about it when you send a text. There's no emotion. Sometimes people get pissed off when you send a text. Just, you know, you may have said it in a sarcastic way or a funny way or a sincere way, and they take it wrong because the words that are on there don't convey what, you know, emotion or inflections in the voice or whatever. That's because it's a fucking computer, you know. These kids sitting at home now at school with computers. They're not learning a fucking thing. They're sitting there with a computer between them that's giving them headaches, messing with their eyes, and they're just, you know, really just taking the answers off each other probably. That's what I'd be doing. And to get done, you know. You don't learn anything if you don't have a teacher. And even though the indoctrinated states of school are you know, for the most part what school is, there's teachers that you can ask questions to. There's teachers that you can ask off-the-cuff questions and that will give you, you know, a modicum of time to discuss things in front of the classroom still. You know, we're not going to have that with computer teachers. That won't. Beady. What is the, you know, answer to A squared plus B squared? Beady. You know? Yeah, that's learning. That's great. All right, I'm just making a short video because, like I said, not much to add. We know what's going on here. If you haven't seen David Icke's video from yesterday, today's good as well, but yesterday, and I put it with mine, he rips this apart. You know, David Icke's one of the greatest researchers. You know, if you can get over your, he's the lizard guy, he thought he was Jesus, and all the things that other YouTubers say about him that you haven't formulated an opinion on your own at all, except for what you're told, programming. If you take a look at some of the research he's been doing, right back to the colleges that have, and people in those colleges, professors, Professor Ferguson, who have predicted these numbers with a computer model, who are now backtracking, who, you know, are being contradicted by experts. If you skip all that part, go to the last 10 minutes when he's talking about what's going on in their lockdown and how he says, I don't give a shit. I'm going out. I'm doing what I want. You want to find me, find me. I don't give a shit. You want to arrest me? I don't give a shit. See, that's what David Icke's doing while all of Britain is hovering down and all of America. And you know who's rebelling? India. God, wish I was there now. Wish I had people next to me that actually got it enough to give a shit, you know. Good for you, India. Keep it up. You know what's going on. You're not, you've been oppressed and destroyed economically by these fucking cabal shitbags for decades, man. They ain't dumb. They're not indoctrinated, you know, with Deal or No Deal and The Bachelor and you know, everything the hell else all these idiots here are spend their time doing and pretending to be and living vicariously through, you know. It's a sad thing to watch because, you know, like I said, I have a sliver of hope and a sliver of faith, but it is a sliver, especially after seeing, like I said, some of the comments that are being said to all kind of people who are speaking out. You're not, you're not following the rules. No, poo, you know, third grade. He's not 6 feet. Teacher, you didn't give us homework, teacher. You know, the whole mentality growing up. Let me please the teacher. I'm going to please mommy and daddy. I'm going to please him. Look at me. Or, you know, I'm so afraid. Everything is so scary in the world. Oh, so scary out there. You know, whatever stupid-ass mentality people have been programmed to put them in a passive mode. You know, really what it is the indoctrination that you get from the education system, the workplace. You know, it's called capitulation to authority. Your boss, uniforms, teachers, parents, disciplinarians, whatever it is. That's really what holds people back, because they've never rebelled against anything. They've never said no about you know, things that are unjust that they won't do. They compromise themselves left and right for their paychecks, or just for a good time. Let's go out and talk rumors about people because we're drinking and it's funny. You know, they compromise themselves minute by minute, if not day by day. So it's an easy mentality to manipulate in this country. Doesn't seem to work so well in India. So, you know, people think this country's, oh, if it falls here, yeah, because we got the guns. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you see people just marching in the street with their guns, aren't you? You know, if I was doing it, I'd be the only one out there walking around all by myself. You know, so fuck it, man. You know, that's why you need to realize you're not this avatar. And whatever happens to the body while you're standing in truth, righteousness, morality, justice for all, not just yourself. You know, how many people are going to do that? You know, ooh, survival mode. Well, it's me or him. It's the law of the jungle. I get to steal from him. Yeah, right. That's why you're imprisoned here, fuck nuts. It's the law of the universe that no one seems to want to learn. Don't fucking steal. Karma works in individual ways and collective ways. Those that are manipulating this understand the dynamics of those laws. And it is not just God's will being done and it will all work out in the end. See, actual human behavior and human choices affect where we go. And you have the social engineers and psychologists and social engineers and psychologists, which is what they are, but, you know, psychological war ops and military and politicians and all these dark occultists at the top of their little hierarchy that know how to drive and steer the behavior of the population by steering their emotions, by pushing, as David Icke calls them, press enter people. You just, you know, throw something at them and, woo! So, you know, It's up to you to come out of that. We can do this. You individually have to give a shit. You have to start to understand these concepts. You have to understand the truth about the world you live in, stand in it, and realize that no one has a right to do this to anybody else, especially knowing what bullshit this pandemic is and what a lie it is and what a cover-up for the economic crash that they have caused so that they can transfer wealth from 80% of the middle-class population to themselves and put tons of people out of work and merge and keep the corporations they want and merge government with corporations. By the way, that's called fascism. You know, I think we've learned that. It's not a good thing. Is that not a good thing, remember?
Oh, but no, they have to because coronavirus. So, don't you get it?
All right, I'm done. I'm going to get all worked up. Love you guys. Get learning, get speaking. Hope all is well.